The full Holiday Ops event on World of Tanks console has been released, and today's video is going to cover not only the Holiday Ops and how you can get your hands on some free premium tanks, as well as complete a ton of challenges that give you silver, they give you camos that are exclusive to the event, but also the other update news that comes alongside having these updates. So without further ado, let's have a look at what this content is. So if you didn't watch some of the other videos that we've done on the channel, the Holiday Ops is essentially Arnold Schwarzenegger and Mila Jovovich, who are the kind of avatars of this year's Holiday Ops event. And so we can see them in the game, and we can actually manage to pick up some commanders if you're that interested. But the Holiday Ops event is essentially a community one, and there are three components to Holiday Ops: a challenge, a new tank, and store bundles. Of course, Wargaming get the third component in there, which is of course the most important for them, which is the store bundles. And of course we'll cover those later on. Now, apparently, the Arnold Schwarzenegger 2D and 3D commanders, emblem and camo will only be available as rewards from the Holiday Ops challenge. There will be no option to get them elsewhere or at a later time. So if you want Arnie in command of your tanks, be sure to choose Team Arnold in the Holiday Ops challenge. So if you're interested in getting Arnold Schwarzenegger in the game, then yeah, definitely choose Team Arnold, as I am going to be doing, primarily because there's some really good rewards. But we'll get into those in a second. Let's give you an idea as to how you can earn them. Now, we're talking about earning them. Of course, you need to get yourself some points. And in the way in which that Wargaming always run these sort of community events is that at a certain amount of points on your team, you'll be able to get some prizes. Now, the first one being is basically there's two teams. There's of course Team Arnold and Team Mila, and depending on what you're wanting and what you want to get out of the tank, and essentially what you want to get out of the overall event, you can choose the team that you're on. Now, I can guarantee that more people will choose Team Arnold than they will choose Mila Jovovich. Now, that's probably just because it's Arnold, and of course that will just allow you to get your rewards a lot quicker and potentially get the brand new tank that you've probably seen on the thumbnail of this video. So how do you get points? Well, essentially, every individual player can get their own points. They don't actually count to anything. Well, they do count, but they don't give you any individual benefit. It is for the entire team. So how do you actually get the points? Well, it's based on the amount of experience and where you place in the games that you play on the game. So if you're the top XP earner on your team in a battle, you'll get 3 points. If you're the second to the 5th place on your team, you get 2 points. And if you're 6th to 10th, you get 1 point. So what Wargaming are essentially saying here is that it doesn't matter about the points, because every single game there will always be the same amount of points awarded, and so it doesn't actually really matter whatsoever. So they're basically saying you have to play a certain number of games in total. I could sit here and work it all out. I mean, between 6 and 10, you've got 4 different slots, I believe, maybe 5 even. So you can get 5 points from that, then you can get 6 points or 7 points even, 8 points, so you're looking at 13 points, 16 points from a game, roughly, from my own back of the hand calculations there, off the top of my head. So 16 points per team, and of course every single team in the battle will also get doubled. Well, there'll be 2 of them, so you can get 32 points per battle, and Wargaming's rewards are done on the total amount of points that the community raises. But remember, if you want to actually get the rewards from the qualifying for the rewards between stages 1 and 6, you'll need to contribute at least 20 points to your celebrity's total score. So essentially you have to play a little bit over the course of this event, which is running until the 3rd of January. So you got quite a while, and essentially for most people it's probably playing 20 games between then and there. But if you want to qualify for the stage 7 reward and the bonus reward, you'll have to contribute at least 50 points to your celebrity team's total score. So probably looking for the average player on the game, 50 games. Which, when you think about it, you've got 3 weeks pretty much to be able to do so. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a massive problem. It's a couple games a day at most. And of course, the better you are, the more consistent you can come top in the games, then you're going to be able to do it much, much quicker and, of course, help your team out. So, what are the rewards? The most important thing, I feel like. And essentially, what they are pretty whack until we get to the end. So the first one you can get is for earning 1 million total points as a team, and then you get 100,000 silver. Then the next one is 2 million total points, so that is Arnie emblem vouchers 5. And so yeah, you can get emblems. I mean, it's okay. And then Arnold 3, you get 3 million points, which gives you some repair kits, premium consumables. Essentially, it's like worth like 150,000 silver or something like that. And then the Arnold 4 gives you 4.5 million total points, so you have to get that. And then you'll get some camo vouchers for Arnold's kind of camo. It looks interesting. I mean, I think we actually have a picture of it further on down, so we'll have a look at that in a second. And then 5.5 million gets you 10 lots of 6 times Commander XP bonuses. 7 million will get you Arnold Schwarzenegger 2D Hero Commander in the game and a classified keycard. And then if you grind it all the way out, get 50 points solo, and the community get 8.5 million total points as a team, you can get Arnold Schwarzenegger 3D Hero Commander, as well as a 60% discount on the brand new M47 Iron Arnie, which is not tier 8, but is actually a tier 10, because if you've seen on World of Tanks PC, the Iron Arnie, the M47, was actually a tier 8 vehicle as opposed to a tier 10. So we now have a tier 10 version of the same tank. Now, I mean, make of that what you will. Now, the actual kind of skin or camo you can see from Arnie is this one. I mean, it looks okay. I mean, you can't really make out Arnie all that well on the tank that they've got here, other than down here. But I mean, it looks cool. I won't complain about getting that, but I will be picking Team Arnold myself, and I implore you probably do so if you want just quick and easy rewards rather than the cosmetics that you'll get. But Team Mila, a very similar sort of story. The key things are the second one, where you basically get Mila as a emblem, and then you Mila 4, you'll be able to get a perfect camo voucher, so it's essentially her version, which we can have a look at in a little bit as well. And then you can get the 2D Hero Commander, much like Arnie, and then the 3D Hero Commander as well at the top tier, along with the 60% discount on the M47 Iron Arnie as well. So you cannot get the Iron Arnie for free, which sucks, and it absolutely sucks. But it is what it is. Wargaming obviously want to make a ton of money. They want to pay for the actual actors, I'm assuming, and the actual sponsorship that they've given them to be able to have them in the game. But that's not it. There is a bonus. So there are some free tanks that you can pick up. And the bonus that they've mentioned is if both Team Arnold and Team Mila complete all 7 stages, then everyone on both teams will be able to choose one of the tanks below as an additional reward. And if you already own the tank, you get silver. And the tanks are the T42 medium, which is like the American Bulldog that is basically a full medium, slower, etc. Then the other one is the K91 version 2, which is not a good tank in my opinion. And then the CS52 list, which I really enjoyed, but overall not the best tanks anyway, even if we don't manage to complete it. But one thing that I think would be kind of interesting to do is to have a look to see how many games the community will have to play to be able to complete this operation. So if we were to do 17 million, Yep, 17 million total points, divided by 32 for the amount of games, amount of points in every single game. Then the community will have to complete 531,250 games in the next 3 weeks. So it's a lot of games. I'm not entirely sure how many games typically happen during a time period for wargaming, but usually with these events what they'll do is they'll see typically how many games do we have in a month, then they'll probably lower it a little bit so that, you know, everyone will actually be able to complete this operation, and then everyone gets the rewards, and then it's down to how much the community smash out the games to be able to get it. So I'm pretty sure that you'll be able, we will be able to complete all of the games. Of course, if you half that will be how many you'll have to go and actually do. But yeah, 531,250 games to be able to get as many points to basically get both of the operations complete for both Mila and Arnold. And of course you can only pick one team, so once you've picked your first team you're not going to be able to pick a second. So it's really down to how many people decide to go with Mila as opposed to Arnold, whether we're even going to be able to complete this anyway. But there you go. The next thing that we have is to look at the M47 Iron Arnie on its own. So we'll actually jump up and have a look at the tank itself, because we can have a look, and of course this is the garage. You can see the 3D Hero Commander Arnie, and of course M47 Iron Arnie. Now, Wargaming love to come out and say that a tank is overpowered. Basically, this is a tier 10 tank, so it is going to be top tier within the games. And from how I found it on PC, it's got very much really nice strong turret armor and relies upon being able to fire out a ton of rounds in a minute with 390 alpha, so you've got a decent amount of hit points. I mean, I don't know what this trailer is. It's literally just it rolling around and taking things out in the game. It doesn't really show you anything, but there you go. Typical console. But either way, yeah, it's definitely an interesting tank indeed. And of course, it's based on the M47 pattern that Arnold Schwarzenegger operated in the Austrian Armed Forces from 1965 to 1966. Years later, Arnie found and bought the tank. Today, he brings it out for charity activities and other special events. Wow. So that's Arnie is a tanker, apparently. I don't even know. But anyway, let's have a look at the statistics of the vehicle, see if it's actually even worth getting. Because at the end of the day, you will have to purchase this if you want it. Granted, it's at 60% off if the operation gets completed, but it's a tier 10 vehicle. You don't get any silver bonus, so it's not a silver earner. You only get 5% more vehicle XP when you play the tank. So essentially, anyone that likes basically getting free XP and converting it from vehicle XP, then maybe it's worth it for you, but like 5% is tiny anyway, so it's not really worth it. Hit points 2,100, that's very solid for a medium tank. You've got 800 horsepower, so I mean, there's nothing too special. 17 power to weight, so it's not particularly the fastest medium you'll see. 45 kilometers an hour top speed, very lackluster. Reverse speed 18, that's actually okay. Hull rotation 36 and 36, so for the turret, so nothing too special there. 10 degrees gun depression, which is fantastic because that is where this tank is going to excel, especially with the strong turret armor that this thing has. 268mm of penetration on the standard rounds, which is absolutely fine. 390 alpha. You've got 1.9 second aim time, 0.36 accuracy, so it's going to be really nice to be able to use in terms of its gun handling. A rate of fire 6.98 with an 8.6 second reload. Damage per minute of 2,700. Which is probably looking at about 3,500 when you put all of the boosts that you can on it with a commander, etc. And maybe even Arnie himself. And then 54 rounds in the tank, which is nice. Hopefully Wargaming never release a premium that is essentially limited by how many rounds are in the tank, because we've seen that with non-premiums like the FV215B for some reason. Apparently the The balancing factor was having not enough rounds, and then the rounds that this tank gets are AP, heat, and HE, so nothing outrageous in that department. View range 410 meters, which is nice, and signal range 745, which is pretty bog standard. And of course, this is what the tank looks like. Definitely an interesting one, and I'm looking forward to getting my hands on it, testing it out, and letting you guys know whether or not you should even purchase this. And talking about purchasing it, how much is it going to cost you if you do decide to actually get it within the game? So it is a limited time only, so Wargaming have stated that this tank is not going to be able to be bought again, potentially, maybe. Well, you know Wargaming. But essentially, the M47 Iron Arnie is going to be released with a flat 22,930 gold price. So that is looking at about £60 for some unbeknownst reason why anyone would ever purchase a tank on World of Tanks console for £60. It is there for you. I mean, I would never recommend this to my worst enemy to spend 23,000 gold on a literal tank within the game, even if it is a collectible Iron Arnie tank. Yeah, never. But, you know, it's your money, you can do whatever you want with it. Of course, then the 30% discount, you can get this from completing the stages. You can get it for 16,000, which is more reasonable, but it's still like £45 or someone in that region, which is like, what, $55 or something like that, $50 maybe. Unbelievable. M47 Iron Arnie at 60% discount is still 9,170 gold, which is essentially about £25. So it's not cheap for a tank within the game. So anyone thinking, oh, 60% discount, it's going to be like 5,000 gold or 4,000 gold. No, it is still nearly the price of a full price tier 8 premium tank, because why not? Of course, they are trying to profit off of the hype, and I highly dislike that fact. Of course, bumping the initial price up to 23,000 to make it seem like it's a fantastic deal, as well as having to spend your life on the game for the next 3 weeks. Yeah, it's not for me. But I probably will end up getting the tank anyway, just to have it in the garage, and because I'm lucky enough to actually be able to get a ton of gold from both gifts from people, which is massively appreciated by everyone, and of course just actually playing the game and getting gold from the season passes and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. If you want to pick up any specific emblems and the commanders, it's going to cost you 7,000 gold, because why the hell? What the hell, man? 7,000 gold, that's like 20 quid just for some emblems and some commanders. If you just want the commanders for Mila's 3D one, 4,000 gold, and Mila's 2D one, 3,000 gold. Jeez, that's super expensive, but that is what Wargaming have priced it at. Of course, a very expensive promotion and operation for the holiday ops, because rewarding you with so many great rewards there. The ability to purchase a tank for £25 at a 60% discount. Thumbs up. Brilliant, brilliant holiday ops event, and like always, a major disappointment in my opinion. There aren't really any good rewards, to be honest with you, except from if the entire community managed to complete both tasks, which I'm not entirely sure if that's going to happen, but we'll have to wait and see. Then you may be able to pick a pretty mediocre tier 8 premium. So yay, I'm sure loads of you are rushing out now to jump onto the game and spend your life on it for 3 weeks. But other than that, yeah, I'm not particularly too fussed about this holiday ops event, but there is one good positive thing that has come out from Wargaming's office this year, at least in the last couple of months, and that is Extra Life, which was of course the charity event that I did take part in myself just for a little couple of hours during the stream. It was essentially Wargaming's 25-hour live stream where they try and raise some money for the charity Extra Life, and it's part of the charity stream. It's for Children's Miracle Network hospitals, and it's basically to help children. So yeah, it was a really good event. They managed to raise 33,000 US dollars, so pretty decent. That was mainly down to the Extra Life bundle it sold in the store, which raised $26,122. And $6,930 US dollars from direct donations through the stream. So yeah, really, really fantastic to see that much money being raised, and of course going to really nice, good place. So thank you all for taking part. Even if you just watched the stream, just gave it a bit of awareness. Yeah, a big thank you to everyone. And yeah, really was great to be part of it. And then we have the Tanksmas keycards, one of the things you should probably avoid within the game, because wow, Tanksmas keycards, I'm definitely going to be able to get a tank out of them. Oh wait, the keycard drop rates say that you can only get a 1% chance of getting a premium tank, so yay! And of course, each one costs about £1, so £100 to get one premium tank that you can probably pick up most of the time throughout the year for 50% off at points, and would have saved you probably 5 times as much, but at least you would have got some standard commanders and a little bit of gold if you did spend £100. Yeah, it's definitely not a good promotion to go out and spend a ton of money. I mean, if you want the commanders and you want all of these weird and wacky kind of Christmas themed commanders, then go ahead and spend your money. I'm not going to tell you where and when you should spend your money, but yeah, in terms of actual, like, if you want it for premium tanks, then no, this is not a good promotion at all. So that's that. What else do we have happening this week? Well, of course, we've had the Holiday Ops and Community event, but the actual decent event that we've got going on right now is the Tank Cup. And of course, it is essentially to be able to pick up the EOC AMX 90. So yeah, it's really nice. And of course, members of this week's winning team who score at least 5 goals will be eligible for the Tank Cup's ultimate prize, the French Tier 6 EOC AMX 90. So this is the Tier 6 premium tank, so make sure you choose wisely this week and make sure you get 5 goals within this week to be able to pick up this premium, because I'm not entirely sure if Wargaming will be releasing this ever again, since it is supposed to be a limited time event premium tank. But for those of you who are interested in the premium bonus, which is the Wargaming's kind of operations where you can go out and you can grind out a ton of XP, because it gives you 50% more vehicle XP and 50% more silver when you play tier 5 and beyond in the tech trees that are outlined. So you can essentially, if you want to go towards the Object 705A, you can get 50% more silver, you'll get 50% more vehicle XP when you play any of the tanks leading up to it. And the exact same can be said for the Czechoslovakian TVP T5051, which is my choice. If you haven't picked up any of these vehicles, that one should be the first one. It is fantastic. I love the TVP T5051. And if you want to earn a ton of silver whilst maybe marking the TVP, then now is probably one of the best times, since you can go out, loads of people who haven't played the tank are going to be able to get it a lot easier. So the mark percentages are probably going to be a bit low, and of course you'll be able to make silver whilst playing it as well, so even more of a reason to jump in and play it. And then the Eastern Alliance, so the Cold War versions, are going up to the T72BU and all of the tanks before it. So yeah, 50% more silver, 50% more XP. And then, wow, Wargaming's holiday gift for this month is 2 days of premium, which is, you know, it's fair enough, it's free. And the tier 3 garage slot, I mean convertible medium tank T3, which is this tank on screen. Yeah, it's new, but it is a tier 3 premium, and if you're sat playing hundreds of games in this thing, I really hope you think about how you're playing your life on this game. Yeah, this tank is... it's boring. I'm not even going to cover it. The Tanksmith keycards, of course, we talked about those. The special sales, so Tanksmith sales early start, so you can pick up tanks for free XP. And if you do want to be able to pick up some of them, essentially you'll have to convert gold to 35 free XP, since it's got 50% more XP or free XP for the amount of gold that you're paying. And that lasts until Christmas, so you can pick up tanks like the Turan, because yay, we love seeing Turans in the game. Things like the 279E, the 752, the Concept 1B, etc, etc. There's basically all of the tier 10s that were released or re-taken out. Of course, you can pick up the AMBT, and if you haven't seen my video on this, it is a brilliant vehicle. I love it. Really do find it good. The tank of the month is a Tiger 131, which is a fantastic premium vehicle, and once again I've done a video recently showcasing just how broken the Tiger 131 really is, and of course it comes out as part of the monthly kind of DLC content you can spend $9.99 on literally the next month. Weekly sales. Of course, this weekly sales could be interesting. You can pick up 1.5 times silver boosters, 20 of them for 870 gold, which is actually not bad. And then you got the M48A2 pattern, which is the medium tank from the American line. You can see it here. I don't think this tank is particularly great, but it is what it is. It's basically a tier 8 pattern with basically no armor and a little bit less damage. But I mean, it might be interesting. And then escalation skirmishes, where you can pick up the Object 934 and the AMX 13 SS 11 TCA, which is the autoloading missile launching light tank from the French line, or Western Alliance as it's actually called. But yeah, not bad. And then the heavyweight starters, you can pick up the Citadel Tiger 1, because we didn't have enough Tiger 1s in the game already, and then the T14, both of which are probably okay. They're nothing too special, but that is what's on sale. And then the super savings is actually pretty good this week. So we've got the Panzer IV-S, which is actually okay as a tier 6. I mean, it's nothing too outrageous, but decent tank. The AMX Chaffee, the light tank, the tier 7 console exclusive premium vehicle, which is fantastic now that it's got its upgrade and basically been buffed by Wargaming finally. Yeah, it's definitely a tank I enjoy. Is it overpowered? No, but it is certainly a good tank. And then the T50-2, which is probably the biggest bundle of fun you'll purchase for a very limited amount of gold, so 100% worth everyone having this in the game if they have some spare cash lying around. I think that the T50-2 is a good spend. Other than that, the contracts are starting to come to an end. So the Chisel has the last week. So contract open through December 19th, and buyouts available through to December 26th. The Stinger contract opens through December 26th. And the buyout can be between until the January 2nd. Stinger is a really good tank as well. And then the Talon T44 122, which is not particularly great, is available until January 9th. So get your hands on them. And of course, the final thing is potentially the on-track event for the FE215B 183, which will give you 50% silver discount between tiers 3 and tier 6, and a 30% silver discount between tier 7 and tiers 10. So it's a fantastic time to grind both the FE215B 183 and the Badger, since they both lead off of the Tortoise, and you can utilise the 25% vehicle XP bonus that the Tortoise will have during this period to get both tier 10s. Even though it's supposed to be an on-track to the FE215B 183, they both come off of the Tortoise. The bonus still works even once you've unlocked the 215B 183. So yeah, I mean, make of that what you will. Really decent event. And then of course, don't forget that there is the IS-2 as part of the Gingerbread Hunt, which you can pick up for free, the premium tier 7 vehicle, long haul, etc. And of course the community streams on the 13th of December, which is today as of the recording and publishing of this video, and the 16th of December, which is Friday, where you can join in. And don't forget that I will be streaming on Friday as well, so if you're interested in jumping along and watching me probably fail a load of games on Friday, then yeah, join in, see how you think I will get on. And of course, leave the comments in the comment section down below what you think of the holiday ops. Are you disappointed? I certainly am. I was really hoping it would be something a bit more interesting, but yeah, we kind of got the letdown out of all of the events that Wargaming have done across the platforms. I think this one is the suckiest. I'm not surprised though, but there we go. Hopefully you did enjoy, and if you want to check out any content from the channel, if you want gameplay and tank reviews, they will be on screen right now. The playlist looking at loads of the new vehicles, including the AMBT, and then on the left hand side will be my most recent upload on the channel. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you join me in one of those, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of the week. Goodbye.